Hello and welcome to the 30k channel. I'm your host, David Brains, and with me today I have Andrew and Daniel. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Morning.
Now, these gents have put an amazing effort. They come all the way from sort of Woking, South London kind of area. They've got up nice and early. They're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. They've made all the long journey all the way to Huntingdon, and here we are. And we've got a bit of a channel first, I guess. Demons.
Yeah.
Yeah, struggle for demons, and we finally got the one. So you've got an allied detachment of demons with you?
I have. I've got a just under 800 points or so of their corn demons with a little TM. So they're not quite corn at this stage.
That's cool. And facing off against Sons of Horus and the demons is the salamanders. Yes! Now, we really struggle for salamanders, so really happy to have this really unique force you brought, Daniel.
Yeah, normally I take quite a few dreadnoughts. This is less than I normally take, but it's still a good amount.
Yeah, you've got a few. You've got, what, 5, I guess? Yeah, and you've got some classic salamanders units in there with the heavy flamers.
Yeah.
And a 5-strong Caslax squad.
Yeah, it's a large point sink, but it's usually quite tough.
That's a beast, that, isn't it? Absolute beast. I think you might need those demons, though, to double out the demons, but also smack that great demon in the face. I think you'll need a bit of help with him.
Yeah, he looks quite menacing.
He's a bit of a beast, isn't he? So this is really exciting. Now, Andrew has played demons for a little while.
Yeah, since Book 8 came out.
Brilliant. And you're pretty familiar with them, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm learning stuff about them every day, and they have a slightly different playstyle to normal Astartes and other forces. The big difference they've got is they have the Tides of Madness special rule, which means their strength and toughness varies throughout the game.
Yeah.
So they start off a lot stronger and tougher than they normally are. And as the game goes on, they get weaker as the powers of the warp wane.
Cool.
So for the first couple of turns, they're at +1 strength and toughness. Then they're at normal. And then as the game starts to get towards the end, they're a lot easier to deal with.
Okay.
So got to really try and maximise their potential at the start of the game. Otherwise, they're going to struggle to do anything useful.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see the demons play. So they've been out a little bit while now since Book 8. I guess it's Book 8, isn't it? Yeah, Book 8. Yeah. And we've not seen them on since. So yeah, really excited to see those. And you've got a unique orbital assault list, haven't you, for the Sons of Horus?
I have, yeah. I've been playing Sons of Horus for a while, and I've always really enjoyed the concept of getting in quite quickly, going for sort of the clean kill right off the bat. And then when Demons came out, I saw them work together in my head, and I thought that could work really nice on the table, and it would be quite a nice aggressive style list of everything's in their face turn 1. So I looked at how I could make it work, and I wanted an excuse to get some more drop pods, so
why not?
Here we go.
Now, we must mention quickly to Daniel as well, to give him absolute commendation. Now, when we come to the channel, we don't roll randomly for the mission or the objectives. Or the deployment rather. We discuss about what we want to give a good game and also to make sure it all works. And you suggested ambush, didn't you?
As a true Salamanders player would.
Yes! This is the first time I've ever met anybody that volunteered to play the ambush mission. And you're going to go in the middle, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're a good man. That's what we like to see. I think with you in the middle, I think it's perfect for you because you can fan out from where you need to be, can't you? And I say most of these Sons of Horus are dropping in, so you'll get a first turn punch. Or at least not necessarily a first turn, but at least a good punch before you can be assaulted by the Sons of Horus. So I think it is genius play. This man has a plan.
We'll see if it goes that way.
I think it's a great idea, and you've got some really good heavy hitters, and everything is good in combat, isn't it? Particularly the Dreadnought strength 10, the Caslax are strength 10.
Yeah, the Cassion's great. Dreadio's not that great, but they're useful otherwise.
Well, yeah, but you've got some firepower there, haven't you?
Yeah.
It'd be really good, and I think those heavy flamers will finally see some action. We don't really see heavy flamers get much action in games, but I think they'll see some good stuff, won't they?
Yeah.
Burn the demons, burn the heretics, and all that jazz. So it's really good. So we're still going to roll off, deploy first, go first, and all that sort of thing. But we are kind of agreed that Daniel will go in the middle. So everyone's happy with that.
Yep.
Excellent. Now,
brave choice.
Yeah, but I think it will produce a really great game. So thank you for that. It's brilliant. Now, gents, is there any weird, wonderful, and wild rules that we need to talk about before we get going? We don't want to get caught up halfway through the game with wild rules, but everything's straightforward.
Definitely one from my end. So my Grey Demon's got the Lord of Sorcery, Emanation of Horror, I believe they're called. Basically, their fancy name for upgrades. It says you can pick the powers. I'm going to be rolling them because I'm convinced that's a typo. And picking Iron Arm and Warp Speed is really powerful, but
It's a Magnus trick, that.
It's a Magnus trick, and I don't think this is the kind of game for that. So I've rolled for my powers randomly to make it much more interesting, and I actually got some quite nice powers, actually.
Yeah, we'll go through those in the list, but happy with that, Daniel?
Yeah, absolutely fine.
I wouldn't want to be facing a warp speed iron arm, not great demon, if I'm perfectly honest, so good on you for that. Anything wild from Salamanders we need to talk about?
No, everything's pretty straightforward. It's a normal Legion list.
Great.
Yeah.
It's just solid, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just more quite elite, less feet on the ground, but that's normally how I like to play Salamanders.
Yeah. Believe me, I love playing small. When I had my Legio Cybernetica, 10 Caslax, Thanatars, and not much else. That's all you need, really. A few models to move around, but it's good fun. I'm really excited. Let's get into the list, and then we'll see you at the beginning of the turmoil.
This is 2,500 points of Salamanders, led by Cassian Dracos. Their warlord trait being Fires of Martyrdom, and the Rise of War, there is not one. HQ for the Salamanders is Cassian Dracos. He's armed with 2 Dreadfire Heavy Flamers and 2 close combat weapons. For the second HQ choice is Narek Dager. He's with a squad of 5 Caslax, each armed with a Multi-Melter, a Flamer, and a Siege Wrecker. The elite choice for the Salamanders are 2 identical Dreadnoughts, each with Flamestorm Cannon and Heavy Flamers. For the troops choices, there are 2 identical Tactical Marine squads, each with 10 models, mounted in a Rhino with a Heavy Flamer, and the Sergeant has Artificer Armour and has a Power Fist. For the Heavy Support choice, there are 2 identical Doredios, each with Heavy Bolters, Anvilus Autocannons, and Boreas Defense Missiles. They're also equipped with Armoured Ceramite. For the last Heavy Support choice, there is a squad of 10 Heavy Flamers, the Sergeant having Artificer Armour, and they're mounted in a Rhino with a Heavy Flamer.
2,500 points of Sons of Horus, with an allied detachment of Demons of the Ruined Storm, led by a Legion Praetor, using the Orbital Assault Rise of War and the Crimson Fury Etheric Dominion for the Demons. The Praetor's warlord trait is Target Priority. For the Sons of Horus, their HQ choice is a Legion Praetor in Cataphracti Terminator armour. He's armed with a Mastercrafted Paragon Blade, a Combi Plasma, digital lasers, and he's equipped with the Liber Magra Veneficarum Psi Arcana Relic. For elites, there is a 5-man Justarin Terminator squad equipped with power axes and Combi Plasmas. For the next elite's choice, there is a Legion Apothecary equipped with Artificer Armour, Augury Scanner, Bolt Pistol, and Chainsword. For the Sons of Horus, their troops' choices are 2 identical tactical squads equipped with 10 Marines, extra close combat weapons, and then Artificer Armour, Power Axe, and Melter Bombs for the Sergeant, and they're riding in a Legion drop pod. For elites, the Sons of Horus have a 9-man veteran tactical squad equipped with 5 Combi Plasmas, 3 Power Swords, Melter Bombs for the entire squad, and the Sergeant is armed with Artificer Armour, a Power Axe, and a Combi Plasma, and they are riding in a drop pod. For the Sons of Horus Heavy Support, they have a Leviathan Siege Dreadnought riding in a Dreadnought drop pod. And he is armed with a Siege Drill with an inbuilt Melter Gun, Cyclonic Melter Lance, Phosphex Discharger, and is equipped with Armoured Ceramite. Joining the Sons of Horus is an allied detachment of Demons of the Ruined Storm. They will be bringing with them the Etheric Dominion, Crimson Fury. For HQ, there is a Greater Demon, equipped with Demonic Wings, Brass Collars, and Lord of Sorcery, making him a level 2 Psyker. His psychic powers are Enfeeble and Life Leech. For elites, there is a 3-man unit of Demon Brutes, equipped with Brass Collars and Crushing Claws. For troops, there are 2 identical units of Beasts, equipped with Brass Collars and Crushing Claws.
Andrew, Daniel, we're deployed and ready to go. There are tons of Salamanders aboard, but no Sons of Horus or Demons.
That is correct. Because I've got a orbital assault list, everything starts in reserves, and the demons have to start in reserves as well. So I actually physically can't deploy anything on the board. Aside from the Justarin, if I really want to, but I'd rather keep them in orbit just to be on the safe side.
Fair enough. And Daniel, you've got the pick of the terrain. You've deployed really defensively in that structure, haven't you?
Yeah, I feel if I spread out, I'm just going to get picked apart by the demons.
Yeah, I think it's an absolute sound tactic. It's a great idea. And Sons of Horus, a C's for you, or?
I'm going to choose not to seize because I want to play very reactively to how you play. So I'm going to play tactically.
Good luck,
my man.
gents.
Salamanders turn 1. Salamanders turn 1. The units of the army moved backwards slightly. Otherwise, they didn't shoot because there was nothing to shoot at, and they will wait for the Sons of Horus to appear.
Sons of Horus turn 1, movement phase. The demons passed all their reserve rolls and they've all arrived. So the brutes have pushed forward a little bit to try and keep the portal safe, with the beasts charging forwards to try and tie up the Castellax and those tactical marines when they can charge next turn, hopefully. Greater Demon has also lapped out, and he's going to go and try and deal with the Deredeo if it survives the Leviathan that has arrived in front of it. The Leviathan is then going to try and deal with Cassian afterwards, but a lot of it depends on him surviving and the Deredeo not chopping him apart with those nasty autocannons and missiles. Veteran Squad has also arrived. They're going to try and use combi plasmas to deal with that Flamestorm Dreadnought before it incinerates them. Otherwise, they are going to have a really bad day. So the Sergeant and the Apothecary are going to try and tank whatever hits he inflicts on them if he survives. Sons of Horus turn 1 psychic phase. The Great Demon cast Enfeeble on the Castellax and managed to get it off on 3 dice, but unfortunately perilled and took 2 wounds in return because of the demon's perils chart. Sons of Horus turn 1 shooting phase. The Leviathan has opened up with its Melter Gun and Cyclonic Melter Lance against the Deredeo. Melter Gun didn't inflict any damage, but the Cyclonic Melter Lance has inflicted a glancing hit and a penetrating hit.
So for the glancing hit, a 5-up invulnerable fails. And for the penetrating hit, passes.
So he's on 2 hull points now and no ill effects. Sons of Horus Veteran Tactical Squad opening fire on the Dreadnought in front of them with combi plasmas. 10 successful hits, 2 gets hot, but they pass their armor saves. 2 of them will be granting a 4-up cover save to the Dreadnought. Their combi plasmas are strength 7, front armor is 12, so they're needing 5s to glance. So the 4 that have cover saves, so that's 2 penetrating hits and a glance. Do you want to roll those saves?
So the glance, plus, and the 2 penetrating. Both pass.
And then the ones which are granting no save from cover. That is 4 penetrating hits.
He is wrecked.
End of the Sons of Horus shooting phase. Rolled some run moves to the demons. Both squads of beasts managed to roll a whopping 6. They're very keen, so they've pushed right up to the Salamanders line as far as they can. Brutes rolled a 4, so they have simply moved forward a little bit, just to keep within 6 inches of that portal, but get a little bit closer to the Salamanders line. Really happy that I managed to deal with that Dreadnought with the combi plasmas, because that would have roasted them if they hadn't have dealt with it. So that's the end of the shooting phase.
Turn 2 movement for the Salamanders. The Castellax tried to move forwards, but unfortunately with enfeeblement they were moving through terrain. They rolled a double 1, so moving quite slowly. Both of the tactical squads disembarked from their rhinos. One to try and deal with the beasts, and the other to deal with the veteran tactical squads. Both the Deredeos pivoted slightly. The Flamestorm Dreadnought that is left turned round to look at the demons. The heavy weapon squad has elected to stay in their rhino, and Cassian has eyed up the Leviathan ready to charge. Turn 2 Salamanders shooting phase. Cassian's going to try and shoot a lucky melt gun. The Leviathan has armoured ceramite, so it's only getting 1d6 to pen. So 2s to hit. Misses. Next to fire was the Rhino in the tactical squad. The Rhino shooting its heavy flamer, shot in. Thankfully, all the feel no pain saves were passed, and the tactical squad shot in and did no damage. Continuing the shooting phase, the Castellax tried to unleash their flamers into the beasts. They did 1 wound thanks to the high toughness of the beasts. The Castellax continue shooting their multi-melters, not doing a great job again, only killing a beast and another wound on another. The Deredeo was trying to light up the Leviathan in front of it, shooting 2 of its missiles and all of its autocannon shots into it. The autocannons dealing 3 glances. Unfortunately, all their invuns were passed. The missiles also did nothing, as they didn't manage to penetrate. The second tactical squad's Rhino opened up with its heavy flamer, dealing 1 wound to the beasts, and the tactical squad unleashed their bolters and did a further 2 wounds, killing one of them. The Dreadio shot all 4 of its missiles into the Leviathan. None of them managed to penetrate, unfortunately. It then shot its autocannons and heavy bolters into the veterans. Thankfully, the veteran sergeant pulled through and no damage was caused. Salamanders turned to assault phase. Cassian charged into the Leviathan. The overwatch was ineffective. The Castellax charged into the beasts. The Hammer of Wrath went off, but no damage was suffered, and there was no overwatch in return. Cassian is striking at initiative 4. It gets 5 attacks on the charge, so needing 4s to hit, as the Leviathan is also weapon skill 5. Getting 2 hits. Is strength 10 against the front armour of 13, so 4s to penetrate. I do have Sunders, so I do get to re-roll. So 1 glance, 1 pen.
So the glance first with a 4 up because it's asthmatic shield. That fails, and then the penetrating hit, that passes. Sons of Horus Leviathan with 3 attacks, needing 4s to hit due to their same weapon skill. With 3 hits, he's strength 10, but because of Cassian's rules, his armor bane because his chain fist does not come into effect. So front armor 14, strength 10, needing 4s to glance. Doing nothing. Combat between the Demon Beasts and the Salamanders Castellax. The Demon Beasts going first at initiative 4, successfully inflicted 2 wounds, 1 thanks to rending, 1 thanks to sheer weight of attacks. Castellax failed both saves, however, so it's taken 2 wounds. The Salamanders Castellax went in with 20 attacks, initiative 3, inflicting a massive 10 wounds against the Demon Beasts. After invuln saves, 2.5 beasts died. However, after then failing their morale test, they suffered an instability and suffered an additional 3 wounds, killing the entire squad.
End of Salamander's turn, assault turn. The Castellax consolidated 6 inches towards the demons. On the whole, the turn was pretty good, some poor rolling, but a good amount of damage dealt.
Sons of Horus turned to movement phase. The Justarin, Praetor, and the tactical squad successfully arrived from reserves. The Justarin scattering to just within rapid-fire range with their combi plasmas of the Castellax, and the tactical marines arriving to rapid-fire to try and snipe Draeger out in the shooting phase. The brutes have moved forward as well to try and get a charge off on the Castellax in the upcoming assault phase. The Greater Demoners ran up to try and charge into the tactical squad as well to support them, and the beasts have surged over the ruined tank to try and give them some options in the upcoming assault phase against the Dreadnought. The veteran squad has managed to vault over the boxes in front of them, over the wreckage of the dead Dreadnought, to charge that tactical squad to try and deal with them a little bit. And the Leviathan is still locked in combat with Cassian, hopefully going to kill him in the assault phase. Sons of Horus turn to Psychic phase. Greater Demon successfully managed to manifest Life Leech, killing 2 tactical marines in front of him and regenerating 1 wound in the process. He successfully manifested Enfeeble against the Castellax, but they managed to roll a massive 3 6s to deny it, so that has not gone off this turn. Sons of Horus turned to shooting phase. The Justarin opened up with their combi plasmas on the Salamanders Castellax in front of them. Thanks to their ballistic skill, the Legion Astartes Death Dealer's rule, and the Warlord trait allowing them to reroll 1s to hit for shooting, they managed to inflict a lot of hits on the Castellax. Only 6 managed to wound. 3, however, managed to get through, killing 1 Castellax and leaving 1 on 3 wounds. The Sons of Horus tactical squad rapid-fired against Draeger and his Castellax, along with their drop pod, unfortunately inflicting no wounds due to their toughness and armour saves. Sons of Horus veteran tactical squad fired bolt pistols into the tactical squad in front of them, and the drop pod fired with its combi bolter as well, unfortunately only killing 2 Salamanders tactical marines. Sons of Horus turned to assault phase. A lot of charges have been successfully pulled off, with the Greater Demon charging into the tactical squad, killing one Salamander's tactical marine on Hammer of Wrath. Demon Brutes have charged into the Salamander's Castellax, with one of the Brutes taking 2 wounds for some lucky multi-melter hits on Overwatch. The Demon Beasts have charged into combat with the Dreadio, managing to sneak past the tactical squad. And the Sons of Horus veteran squad has managed to charge into combat with the tactical squad, hopefully going to do some damage with those power swords. Demon's Greater Demon issued a challenge to the Salamander Sergeant, who refused it, so he is unable to attack this turn. So at initiative 4, the Greater Demon, with 6 attacks thanks to his charge bonus and rampage, managed to successfully kill 4 Salamander's tactical marines.
The Salamander's tactical marines attack back into the demon. with 2 attacks from crack grenades, failing to wound. They then failed their morale tests and have got run down by the demon.
Combat between the demon brutes and the salamanders castellax. Each brute has 3 attacks base, but because of their rage bonus thanks to the Crimson Fury Etheric Dominion, they get rage, which gives them an additional 2 attacks. So that means they have 5 attacks in total against the castellax, striking at weapon skill 4 and initiative 4. Needing 4s to hit. Sorry, 3s to hit. Because castellax are weapon skill 3. And then they are strength 7, toughness 7, due to the Ties of Mana special rule, which means they are wounding on 4s, and 6s are rending. So that is 4 normal armor saves and 1 rend.
So the 4 3-up saves. Fail 2, and then a 5-up invulnerable save. Fails that, so 3 wounds taken, so that is another castellax dead. Slight correction, it was actually the castellax closer to the beast that took 3 wounds, so no castellax are dead, but 1 is heavily wounded again. Initiative 3, the salamanders castellax strike back, so 8 attacks with their siege wreckers, needing 4s to hit, so that's 4 misses. And then 2s to wound because they're strength 10, so that's 4 wounds.
So 4 5+ invulnerable saves, thanks to their demon ability. I pass all of them.
Initiative 1, Narek Drago will strike with 3 attacks with his Power Fist, hitting on 3s. 3 hits. Strength 8, so wounding on 3s. Wounding twice.
So 2 5 invulnerable saves. I fail both. So that is 1 brute dead and another brute on 2 wounds. At the end of that combat, the brutes lost by a total of 1. They unfortunately failed their leadership test, which meant due to them being demons of the Ruin Storm, they failed their instability test and suffered an additional 3 wounds as a result, killing another one and leaving the final brute on 2 wounds. Demon beasts in combat with the salamanders Deredeo had a total of 16 attacks, hitting 10 times, needing 6s to glance, and thanks to their rending special rule, they would be glancing with an additional 1 or 2, penetrating on 3s. Thanks to this, they inflicted 1 glancing hit and 4 penetrating hits, of which the Deredeo saved none of them. So the Deredeo is now wrecked. Sons of Horus Veteran Tactical Squad charging into combat against the Salamanders Tactical Squad, killing a total of 4 Salamanders Tactical Marines with 3 power swords and an assortment of chain swords and close combat weapons.
Striking back, the Salamanders Tactical Squad managed to get 4 wounds in, and only 1 of them was failed, so only 1 Sons of Horus veteran died.
Initiative 1, both sergeants successfully managed to kill each other with their AP2 weapons. The Salamanders failed their morale test and have fled 7 inches in the direction of Cassian. And the Sons of Horus Veteran Squad have consolidated 1 inch and have simply held position. Combat between the Sons of Horus Leviathan and Cassian Dracos. The Leviathan with 3 attacks only managed to score 1 successful hit, however, managed to successfully immobilize Cassian, so he'll now be hitting his rear armor in future combat.
Cassian attempted to attack back with 3 attacks, but failed all of them.
At the end of that turn, the Sons of Horus have managed to gain some real traction. Cassian being immobilised has meant that Leviathan should hopefully manage to finish him off next turn. And the Sons of Horus and Demons have just got to work really hard to try and keep the Salamanders as contained as possible.
Turn 3 Salamanders movement. The Rhino containing the Heavy Flamers attempted to move through the building, but failed its dangerous terrain check, causing itself a hull point and immobilising itself. The Castellax did not move as they're stuck in combat, and the Dreadnought next to the Beasts stayed there. The Rhino moved to block the veterans out from the no longer fleeing Tactical Marines, and everything else stayed the same. Salamander's turn 3 shooting. The Rhino that did contain the Tactical Squad shot its Heavy Flamer into the veteran Tacticals, wounding 4 of them, but unfortunately only killing the Apothecary. Continuing the Salamander shooting phase, the Rhino and 2 of its Heavy Flame occupants shot at the Tactical Squads next to the drop pod, shooting 15 shots, wounding 13 times, and killing 4 normal Tactical Marines and their Sergeant. The Salamander's Dreadnought shoots at the Beast Squad with its Heavy Flamer, causing 3 hits, and the Flamesword Cannon causing 4 hits, causing a total of 3 wounds, killing 2 of them. The Salamander's Dreadio shot its 2 missiles at the Greater Demon, doing 2 hits, 2 wounds, and both the Invuns were fails, leaving it on 2 wounds remaining. Salamander's turn 3 assault phase. The Dreadnought charged into the beasts, dealing 1 Hammer of Wrath hit, but failing to wound. In the combat between the Salamander's Dreadnought and the beasts, they strike at the same initiative. The beasts attacked 4 times, but only managed to glance once, only causing a hull point though. The Dreadnought in return killed both of them. After a successful combat, the Dreadnought consolidates 3 inches away from the Greater Demon.
Combat between the Salamander's Castellax and the last Demon Brute. Demon Brute striking first at initiative 4, dealing 1 wound thanks to rending, but unfortunately the Castellax passed it thanks to his adamantic shield.
The Castellax striking back against the Demon Beast, getting 8 attacks, hitting only 3 of those, wounding only twice, and both the Invuns for the Beast was saved. In the combat between Cassian and the Sons of Horus Leviathan, they attack simultaneously. Those Cassian being immobilized, he gets 1 less attack, so 3 attacks, hitting on 4s. 1 hit, penetrating on 4s, does penetrate.
So a 4 vulnerable save, which I fail.
Okay. I'll roll for the result now. So +1. So 6 is immobilized.
The Sons of Horus Leviathan striking Cassian Dracos at the same initiative, with 3 attacks, hitting on 4s because of weapon skill 5. 2 hits, hitting his rear armor of 10 because of his immobilized results, so needing auto glances. So it's 1 glance, 1 penetrating hit. AP2 adding 1 to this result is a 4, which is weapon destroyed.
At the end of the combat, Cassian has suffered a weapon destroyed result, so it's now immobilized and weapon destroyed is on 1 hull point. The Leviathan is also on 2 hull points and has also suffered an immobilized result. Salamander's turn 3 went pretty well. Cassian is still alive, which is amazing, and we did a decent amount of damage, but not as much as I was hoping to, so we'll see what happens with Sons of Horus turn 3.
Sons of Horus turn 3 movement phase. The final tactical squad has arrived and scattered 8 inches further than where they wanted to arrive. However, their positioning is pretty good, so they have started to move towards the centre of the board to get some positioning on the Salamanders. The Justaran have moved towards the Rhino holding the Heavy Flamer squad, so hopefully, assuming the rest of the Sons of Horus can crack it open, they can charge into combat with the Heavy Flamer squad and kill them. The surviving members of the tactical squad have moved in front of the Castaferum Dreadnought with the Flamestorm cannon to try and hold it in position and stop it from advancing too much closer to the Castellax combat. Thanks to the Greater Demon being a jump monstrous creature, it's been able to vault over the ruined tank to try and get some sniping shots on Draeger in the Psychic phase. The Sons of Horus veteran tactical squad has moved towards the Rhino that has blocked the surviving members of the Salamander's tactical squad off to try and destroy it with melter bombs. Sons of Horus turn 3 Psychic phase. Due to the Castellax being locked in combat, the Greater Demon can't cast any Witch Fires, however, has successfully managed to cast Enfeeble, reducing their strength and toughness by 1 for the next turn. Sons of Horus turn 3 shooting phase. The Sons of Horus tactical marines in front of the Dreadnought tried to throw a cheeky crack grenade into the rear armour of the immobilised Rhino. Unfortunately, after a successful hit, they did not do any damage. Meanwhile, the tactical squad that has arrived from reserves managed to run 5 inches closer towards the Rhino with the Heavy Flamer squad inside it. Sons of Horus turn 3 assault phase. The Greater Demon has charged into the Salamander's Castellax squad and Draeger to try and snipe Draeger and do some damage to that squad. Hammer of Wrath inflicted no wounds to the unit, unfortunately. The Justaran squad have charged into the immobilised Salamander's Rhino to try and finish it off and get to those heavy flamers. And the Sons of Horus veteran tactical squad has charged into that Salamander's Rhino to try and destroy it to get to the tactical marines behind it. At initiative 4, the Greater Demon and the Brute managed to attack the Castellax first. The Greater Demon inflicted 3 wounds after having 8 attacks, of which 5 hit, which succeeded in killing 1 Castellax that was critically wounded and inflicting an additional wound to a slightly damaged Castellax. The Brute, however, with its 3 attacks, only managed to hit twice, inflicted a single wound, but the Castellax passed its armour save.
Striking at initiative 3, the Salamander's Castellax attacked, 2 of them striking the Beast, killing it, and 1 of them striking the Greater Demon, dealing 1 wound, and the Greater Demon not passing that, so it's now only on 1 wound.
Sons of Horus Praetor attacking the immobilized Rhino with 6 attacks, inflicting 2 penetrating hits, which succeeded in wrecking the Rhino, forcing the heavy support squad inside to emotionally disembark to bring their heavy flamers to bear against the Justaran Terminators next turn. Sons of Horus Veteran Tactical Squad attacked the Salamanders Rhino with 7 melter bombs, inflicting 5 penetrating hits, resulting in an explodes damage result. However, it did no damage to any of the surrounding models. The Sons of Horus Leviathan is going to try and kill Cassian with 2 attacks, striking at same initiative. So initiative 4 hitting on 4s. So that's 1 hit, needing a 4 to glance with strength 10. Does no damage.
Okay, Cassian, same initiative, is going to strike back with 2 attacks, hitting on 4s, hitting twice, penetrating on 4s. Nothing. It does have Sunder though, so can re-roll. 1 penetrating hit.
Which the Leviathan will get a 4-up invulnerable save against. That's automatic shielding. She fails.
Let's see what the result is. It explodes.
The Leviathan will explode d6 inches plus d3. So it's 3 inches plus d3. So that's plus 1. And it is at strength plus d3. So that is a strength 7 explosion, 4 inches. Which will hit your 3 Marines, the Derodeo, and the Rhino. So the 3 Marines are wounded on 2s. So that's 3 wounds.
That's just 1 dead.
The Derodeo will be glanced on a 6. Does nothing. And the Rhino will be glanced on a 4. That is 1 glance to the Rhino. And the Leviathan has been killed. At the end of Sons of Horus turn 3, the Sons of Horus Leviathan is unfortunately dead, but Cassian being immobilized means hopefully he shouldn't be too much of a problem, but I still have to deal with him to get that VP for killing him. The veterans are in a really good position to try and deal with those tacticals and finish Dracos off, and potentially the Derodeo. The Justaran are in a good position to deal with those heavy flamers, however they do have to suffer 10 heavy flamers at strength 6, so it might get a little bit painful for them, and the Greater Demon is on 1 wound, so hopefully he can pull through, but I'm not hopeful.
Turn 4 movement for the Salamanders. The Derodeo has moved forward to combat the veterans. The tacticals have moved around to get a better firing arc. The Rhino tried to move through the building, but failed its dangerous terrain check and immobilized itself. The Dreadnought has moved around to get a better firing range for its Flamestorm cannon on those poor tactical Marines. And the Heavy Flamer squad has moved into more of a position where it can use more of its heavy flamers on the Justaran. At the start of the Salamander's shooting phase on turn 4, the combined fire between the Derodeo and the Tactical Marines killed 4 of the veterans of the Sons of Horus. The Legion Dreadnought opened fire on the Sons of Horus Tactical Squad, killing all but 1 with its Flamestorm cannon and Heavy Flamer. The Salamander's Heavy Flamer squad shot at the Justarans, dealing 31 hits and causing 27 wounds. Justaran now have 27 saves to make.
So the Justaran will take these 4 at a time because there are 2 Justaran in the way before it hits the Praetor. So the first 4, passed. Next 4, passed. Next 4. 1 dead Justaran. So 2 at a time. Passed. 1 Justaran is on 1 wound. Justaran is fine. Justaran is dead. Praetor is now going to attempt to Lookout Sir on 2 pluses. Praetor has Lookout Sir on all but 1. The 2-up save on the Praetor is passed. And the remaining 2-up armor saves on the Justaran. So that is another Justaran dead. So it's 3 dead Justaran.
At the end of the shooting phase, the Tactical Marines took a morale check and they failed, running back to their deployment zone. The veterans also took a leadership check, but they passed as well as the Justaran. Start of Salamander's assault phase, turn 4. The Derodeo charged the veteran squad and killed 1 with its Hammer of Wrath attack.
Combat between the Greater Demon and the Salamander's Castellax. The Greater Demon strikes first at initiative 4. With only 5 attacks, he managed to hit once and wounded a Castellax successfully.
The 3 Castellax are going to strike back against the Greater Demon, so they get 2 attacks each, hitting on 4s. Hitting none times. Narek Dego does not get to attack as a challenge was issued, but he did not accept the challenge. Initiative 3, the Deredio striking into the veterans, trying to kick them, but did no damage.
At Initiative 1, the Sons of Horus veterans managed to clamp a melter bomb onto the Deredeo, inflicting a penetrating hit which unfortunately just shakes it. And due to the Hammer of Wrath, it is a tied combat.
End of Salamander's turn 4. We did pretty well, pretty disappointing that the demon didn't die, but all in all, a good amount of damage has been dealt.
Sons of Horus turn 4 movement phase. The lone tactical marine has successfully regrouped and advanced towards the drop pod to try and hold position, awaiting the end of this assault phase. The Sons of Horus Justair and their Praetor have advanced towards the heavy flamers in an attempt to deal with them in the assault phase, hoping that the tactical marines behind the heavy flamer squad can support them in the upcoming assault phase. Sons of Horus turn 4 psychic phase. After generating 7 warp charge dice total, the Greater Demon has elected to use 4 of them to enfeeble the Castellax and succeeded without periling. Sons of Horus turn 4 shooting phase. The combined fire of the Justarian squad and tactical squad has killed 3 Salamanders heavy flamers, however the squad has not fallen back. The Sons of Horus drop pod attempted to kill the Salamanders tactical marines with some lucky combi bolter shots, but unfortunately did no damage. Sons of Horus turn 4 assault phase. The brave tactical marines attempted to charge the Salamanders heavy flamers first, and after suffering 12 wounds on Overwatch, the sergeant bravely passed 11 saves before failing the final one. However, the Sons of Horus Praetor and the last 2 Justarian succeeded their charge and are now in combat with the heavy flamers. At Initiative 5, the Praetor issued a challenge to the heavy flamer squad sergeant, however, he refused. The Praetor had 6 attacks, of which all hit, and inflicted 5 wounds, killing 5 heavy flamer marines.
The Salamander's heavy weapons squads getting 1 attack to strike back against the Justarian, dealing 1 wound, and the Justarian failing their save.
The Sons of Horus Justarian then struck at Initiative 1 with 6 attacks from their power axes, hitting on 3s, killing on 2s, and killed the last 2 members of the heavy flamer squad before consolidating 2 inches. At Initiative 4, the Greater Demon strikes the Salamander's Castellax with a grand total of 5 attacks, hitting with 3, wounding with 2, and the Castellax failing both invulnerable saves, leaving 1 Castellax on 1 wound, 1 on 2, and 1 on full health.
The Castellax will now strike back against the Greater Demon, getting 6 attacks, hitting on 4s, with no hits. Narek once again can't strike, because he didn't accept the challenge given to him. It wasn't a great combat phase. I really think I should have killed them, but I guess that's how that goes.
Combat between the Sons of Horus Veteran Tactical Squad and the Deredeo Dreadnought. Deredeo failed to hit with its 2 attacks, however the veterans succeeded in hitting with 1 of their melter bombs and inflicted a penetrating hit resulting in an immobilized result. At the end of the Sons of Horus turn 4, I am surprised the Great Demon is still alive. The Castellax have been whiffing all of their hits against him, so he's clinging on for dear life. The heavy flamers being destroyed by the Justarian is definitely very helpful because they were causing a lot of problems with those 10 Strength 6 template weapons. Now the Sons of Horus just have to try and deal with the remaining Walkers and the Castellax because they are still unfortunately very strong.
Turn 5 movement for the Salamanders. The Legion Dreadnought has moved up to combat the Tactical Marines and the Justarian. The Tactical Squad has moved up to charge the Veterans, and everything else is either in combat or immobilized. The start of the Salamanders shooting phase turn 5, the Legion Dreadnought opened up with its Flamestorm cannon, killing 3 of the Tactical Squad. The Tactical Marines, at the start of the assault phase, turn 5, have charged into the Veteran Tactical Squad.
At Initiative 4, the Greater Demon struck with 5 attacks against the Salamander's Castellax, hitting 4 times. However, due to its weakened state due to the Tides of Madness rule, it only inflicted 1 wound, which killed a Castellax.
So the Castellax is going to give it 1 more try before they probably die, doing 4 attacks into the Greater Demon, hitting on 4s, hitting 3 times, wounding on 2s, wounding 3 times.
Greater Demon has to pass all of these because he's now toughness 5. The Greater Demon has died after suffering 2 instant death wounds.
Woo! The Castellax, after their victory, have consolidated towards that lone Tactical Marine, hoping to finish him off before moving on to the Justarian. At the Initiative 4, the Veterans piled into the Tactical Marines, killing one with a power sword. The tactical marines in return did no damage, and the Dreadio tried to kick them and also did no damage. The salamanders did not fail their morale check. So end of salamanders turn 5. The Castellax finally killed the greater demon, which is fantastic. We did a little bit of damage elsewhere, but not too much. We've just got to be careful to try and get the units for the mission.
Sons of Horus, turn 5 movement phase. The remaining tactical marines have fled behind the container to try and shelter from the Dreadnought with the Flamestorm cannon, and the Gesterian and the Praetor have advanced towards the Castellax, attempting to kill them with their Paragon Blade. And the lone tactical marine is going to attempt to soak up Overwatch bravely to cover the way for the Gesterian. Sons of Horus, turn 5 psychic phase. In a bold move, the Praetor with the Liber Magra Veneficarum has attempted to summon a unit of demon brutes. However, dabbling with the powers of the warp has its price, and he suffered a wound due to a mishap and did not manifest the power successfully. Sons of Horus, turn 5 shooting phase. Combined fire from the lone tactical marine, the drop pod, and the Gesterian with their Praetor have unfortunately not done any wounds to the Castellax squad. Sons of Horus, turn 5 assault phase. The lone tactical marine did his job and soaked up the Overwatch fire from the Castellax, bravely giving his life for the cause. The Gesterian then managed to make their 6-inch charge exactly and have now made it to combat with Castellax, hoping to finish them off. Combat between the Sons of Horus Gesterian and the Salamanders Castellax. The Praetor attacked first at Initiative 5 with 6 attacks, hitting 5 times thanks to Mastercrafted, but unfortunately inflicting no wounds.
Initiative 3, the Salamanders Castellax are striking back against the Gesterian. 2 hitting, 2 wounding, and both failing, the Gesterian dying, and then failing the Lookout Sir, the Warlord dying for the Sons of Horus.
At the end of the combat between the Gesterian and the Castellax, the Gesterian with 3 attacks, hit 3 times, but failed to wound even with Furious Charge and a Power Axe. However, he passed his morale test on an 8 thanks to being stubborn. At Initiative 4, the Sons of Horus veteran with the Power Sword struck the Salamander's Tactical Marines, only hitting twice, but inflicting 1 wound, which killed a Salamander's Tactical Marine. The Marines struck back, inflicting 1 hit, 1 wound, which killed the veteran with the Power Sword.
The Salamanders Radio struck back against the veteran tacticals, getting 1 hit, 1 wound, and being able to kill the last veteran tactical. The tactical squad then consolidated 1 inch.
At the end of turn 5 for the Sons of Horus, the Praetor is dead, the Gesterian are down to 1 squad, and the veterans have failed to kill the Deradeo. It's annoying that the Gesterian did not manage to summon an extra unit of brutes, because that would have been very helpful at this stage of the game. And the Warlord dying has meant that this Gesterian is probably unable to kill his Castellax, but he's going to try and hold the line as long as he can to keep them from ruining the last tactical squad.
Turn 6 for the Salamanders in the movement phase. The Tactical Marine has moved into the nearest bit of cover, while the Dreadio has lined up the drop pods to try and get a kill point for the mission. The Legion Dreadnought for the Salamanders has lined up the drop pod of the Sons of Horus to get another kill point, and waiting on the Castellax to hopefully kill that last remaining Gesterian. Ends of the Salamanders shooting phase, the Dreadio has shot at the drop pods, destroying it but not exploding it, and the Legion Dreadnought has taken a hull point off another drop pod with its heavy flamer, but doing nothing with Flamestorm cannon. Legion Dreadnought charged the drop pod, dealing 1 hull point to it in Hammer of Wrath, and then killing it with its melee attacks. It then subsequently exploded, but did no damage to anything. In the combat between the Gesterian and the Salamanders Castellax, the Gesterian issued a challenge towards Narek. He turned it down, so moving towards the initiative step 3, the Castellax direct 4 attacks towards the Gesterian, doing 2 attacks, wounding on 2s, doing 2 wounds.
The Gesterian has 2 4-pin bonds to make, which he fails, so he's dead.
I'm then going to roll for consolidation for the Castellax, which will consolidate 3 inches. So it's the final turn, end of the final turn for the Salamanders. They have cleared up a couple units, and there's only a few Sons of Horus remaining. It's looking pretty good for the Loyalists, but we'll see how it goes in turn 6 for the Sons of Horus.
Sons of Horus turn 6, they've suffered heavy casualties, and at this stage the best thing they can do is hold up where they are, and try not to give any additional VPs for units killed. So we're going to total up the victory points and work out who the winner is.
The demons of the Ruin Storm have made an appearance, but they have been sent packing from the salamanders. I mean, gents, what a game it was.
You know, it was brilliant and fun to do. It was close all the way through. There's some amazing rolls and some not great rolls.
Yeah, it was a bit wild, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very back and forth. The Demons of the Sons of Horus made quite an impact when they arrived, but then they just couldn't keep up the momentum, and the Salamanders put on an incredible defense against them. There was some real close combats. The combat between the Great Demon and the Castellax. Well, I imagine we'll get to that in a minute.
We'll get to that very soon. Yeah, it was wild. We'll go straight into the victory points because it was quite key. So let's not forget that the Salamanders chose infantry as their blood feud target, and the Sons of Horus chose walkers as theirs. So we'll start with the Sons of Horus. Did a great job. Death toll 6 points. Killed 6 Salamanders units. 2 for blood feud. No Slay the Warder, unfortunately, which put you on a grand total of 8. So congratulations. But the dirty Salamanders scored a whopping 17 victory points. And that was 1 for last man standing, 11 for death toll, which is crazy good. Blood feud target was 4. You got Slay the Warlord, of course, which brought the total to 17. So final victory points, 17 to the Salamanders and 8 for the Sons of Horus. Phew. Let's start with the Sons of Horus. You've brought back your beast.
Yeah, I feel the Greater Demon is probably man of the match for surviving as long as he did against the Castellax. It was, I think, 2 turns he survived in combat with them?
Yeah.
Enfeebling them at almost every turn, only paralleling a grand total of once, and just hanging on against the massive strength 10 attacks coming his way. It was incredible how long he survived for.
It was lucky he got that life leech off early, though.
Yeah, the wounds he got back from that meant he was actually able to hang on with that last wound remaining for quite a while. So if he hadn't had that power, he would have died turn 2, I think. Turn 3, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw the strength of the demons be quite hard the first couple of turns, and then, as you mentioned, it waned towards the end, which I think did help the Castellax out a little bit. They had some unbelievable, terrible rolls. 2 turns of not hitting a thing, but eventually it helped out towards the end, didn't it?
Yeah.
So talk to us about the Castellax. I mean, it's a hugely pointed unit, isn't it?
Yeah, they're over 800 points. They're a good chunk, but they did so much work. They went through the units of beasts, then the brutes, and then went on to the Greater Demon, which, to any other unit would have just been impossible. But finally moving around and generally dealing with what they could. So they were fantastic.
I think they single-handedly blunted the Demon Assault, if I'm honest.
They did, yeah.
Because they would just have the toughness to hold up against it. They had the AP2. I know they've got invulnerable saves, but you don't get the. It really helped against the saving throws from them. But the multi-melters, pretty beefy weapon though, weren't they? I think they insta-killed a couple of bits of the mobs. Oh no, they didn't. Well, they would have done towards the end, wouldn't they? Because it would have been as they waned. What's that rule called?
Ties of Madness.
Yeah.
So turns 1 and 2, they're at strength and toughness +1. Turn 3 and 4, normal strength and toughness. Turn 5 and 6, -1 strength toughness.
Yeah.
Turn 7, -2 strength toughness.
Right.
Some of the missions in the new book do go to turn 7.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
It is. It's tough to deal with, but it encourages you to play very aggressively, very very quickly, getting in the enemy's face. So it works very nicely with Sons of Horus as a very aggressive legion.
Yeah, I think the two work really well together, as you said. You got the Death Dealer from the Sons of Horus units with hitting on 2s, which really, really helps, I think. You use your Boltifier to great effect earlier on in the game, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Merciless Fighters rule never came up because Sons of Horus were outnumbered in nearly every turn in most combats. So they had to rely on the shooting phase to do most of the heavy lifting, unfortunately.
This is true. But the Salamanders, your Dreadnoughts, I can't decide if they were good or bad.
I think it was honestly a mix. They did well off their own backs, and then they got some really jammy rolls off and survived when they shouldn't, especially Cassian. He survived when he probably shouldn't. But no, they did excellent, and they're probably the reason why they're my favourite model.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of combats which really stood out for me. Was the one between Cassian and the Leviathan. I honestly thought the Leviathan was just going to rip him a new one, but you just held in there, didn't you? Unbelievable. And then finally at the end, where the Dreado kicked a couple of Marines in the face with his feet. I mean, I did not see that coming at all.
It's that moment where you're thinking, it's not got an AP value. It's going to be fine. Oh, he's wounded twice. I failed my saves. Oh, there go my multi bombs. It's
mad, isn't it? And then towards the end of the game, there was some very sneaky shenanigans from where the Sons of Horus Tactical Marine declared a charge against I think it was a Castellax to stop the fire coming in from the Sons of Horus, which I thought was very clever. It's very cheeky, but it was very good. And then also the 10-man heavy flame unit from Salamanders.
Yeah.
What a unit.
I mean, they didn't get as effective as I wanted to, but they still did absolutely amazingly. And they perform great every time, but it's the 10 strength 6 flamer templates. It's just does a lot of damage.
Yeah. And the other, I think, comical moment, and this is a lesson for everybody, is to equip your rhinos with dozer blades. I mean, I think you failed every single one, didn't you? Or 2 at least.
Yeah, the 2 rhinos that I tried to move through terrain both failed and both immobilised themselves.
I mean, rhinos have got the ability to repair like immobiliser a lot, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be, was it?
No.
We just stuck there for the game. It's fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I did not see the game go the way it went. I honestly thought the Sons of Horus had it, but then I knew how tough the Salamanders were, but I mean, you proved a point with your 17 Richard Boyd, so congratulations. Holy cow. I really hope you've enjoyed that game. I've taken a ton of photos, so they will be available on the Facebook page when the game is released, so please go there and have a look. Now, social media-wise, we've not got too much going on with you lot.
I run a page on Facebook, and I will hopefully have an Instagram set up in the near future.
Yes.
It's Ironic Warriors. I post regularly on the 30k Facebook pages and various media, so if you want to give me a follow there, it's at Ironic Warriors, and I post regular content almost on a daily basis.
You've got a reasonable Iron Hands contingent, haven't you?
I've got an Iron Warriors force.
Sorry, Iron Warriors.
Iron something.
Yes.
I've been working on them for the last few months now, and I'm currently process of renovating a few old models. So I've got some interesting stuff. I do a few guides on how to do hazard stripes, how to paint, and sort of weather models. So
great.
Anyone who wants to sort of request any particular ideas on how to do things, happy to help people out with that, because a lot of people have been asking for advice on it. So yeah.
Fantastic. And yourself, you're not keen here.
No, I haven't got any social media as of yet, but maybe in the future.
It's a double-edged sword, it's great, but then it's a lot of work. So I don't blame you. It's, to keep up with the channel social media is an absolute job and a half, I can tell you. So you're probably best off out, to be fair. Although, to be fair, there is a lot of hobby on social media, and it's a fantastic place to put all your hobby in one place, and the advice and the community is fantastic. So who knows? But if you do have any direct questions, I will try and pass them on as much as I can. I do get a lot of emails, so I'll try my best. The only thing left to say is you've got some clubs you want to talk about, is that right?
Yes. I just want to give a shout out and a promo to the London Wargaming Guild, who do a lot of heresy stuff at the Seven Dials Club over in Covent Garden and Bad Moon near London Bridge. Very good gaming venues, very good clubs. So if you're in the London area and you're looking to get some heresy, the more the merrier. We're always looking for more people to play against, so...
We get a lot of people from Bad Moon at the channel here, so particularly the game that just went out, Alpha Legion Ultramarines, Paul and Colin, fantastic game, all infantry, they're local members, aren't they?
Yeah, I've in fact got a game with Paul coming up soon, so it should be quite a lot of fun.
And obviously Joshua Mallet, who has the...
Alpha Legion.
Thank you, so many Legions going on my head.
Brilliant player.
He is.
Very good player.
Nice army as well, it does a good job. And one final mention.
Yeah, mine's for the Woking Warhounds. So it's a club based in the Conservative Club in Woking. It has a good 30k community as well as 40k. Most of the Games Workshop systems.
Great.
Attend a lot of tournaments. It's a really nice atmosphere if you're local.
Great stuff. So you're in Woking or Central London, then please check those clubs out. I'm sure there's a Facebook page for both of those clubs, I would imagine.
They're right, yeah.
Perfect. Go there, check it out. The final thing for me to say is thank you so much for these gents. You've had a reasonably easy day, to be fair. It's like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and they've bashed this game out really quickly. So congratulations for your first game.
Thanks.
I think we might see you back soon. We're trying to set some up.
I've got some people who've said they want to do things with me at some point in the future, so I might be back, but hopefully my own Warriors this time.
Yes. I think that was the plan originally,
It was the original plan, but I had a few issues getting stuff ready in time for this, so I had to do a quick 180 and say, actually, Sons of Horus instead.
I was a bit worried about the green on green, but I think we got away with it.
Hopefully.
I think your edge highlighting probably pushed the green out, so I think we're all right. So these gents have got a little drive back to London, but thank you so much for your efforts. I really hope you've enjoyed this game, and we will see you in the next one.